Welcome to Access Sportsnet Lakers, brought to you by your Toyota dealers. We make it easy. I'm Chris McGee alongside Danny Green and James Worthy. We have Mike Trudell out there in Houston. The Lakers go up 3-0 on Houston, one of the most improbable comebacks in regulation, down 6 with 30 seconds left. The resilience, the guts, what an effort. The brilliance of 41-year-old LeBron James. The toughness and clutch play from veteran Marcus Smart. Put into words, big game, this win and what we just saw.
Ooh. I'm about to put it into action.
Yes.
A little word to clap. I feel like getting up on the table tonight because that was a big game. I'm too heavy for the table, guys. I don't want to crash. Geeter, I just can't understand how great LeBron is at his age. And he's led in championships. He's led his whole career, and tonight he did it again. My choice to take the shot, Marcus Smart.
Oof.
You don't have to shoot the ball well to be effective, and he was more effective without shooting the ball than he was making it. Free throws, steals, clutch play. Rui recognizing that he's got to step up a little bit. Yeah, it was a tough game in Houston. You know they were going to fight like dogs, and they did. But I thought the patience and the coolness under pressure down the stretch, it was some crazy plays. Referees wasn't making calls, some lazy passes, I thought, maybe from fatigue, but overall they got it done.
Gutsy win.
Listen, I'm going to say something real quick to you.
Yeah.
You and I were not happy
no.
in that final minute of regulation. You see all this, everybody?
It was messy.
This was what I was writing with 30 seconds left.
Like he said, there was some
We thought
passes.
It was a golden opportunity maybe slipped away.
Man, they had the lead the whole game.
Yes.
And they let it slip away in that fourth quarter. They gave them life. Got to give credit to Houston. They fought when they were down a man, KD being out. Alperen Sengun, Jabari Smith had a heck of a game. They stepped up. Reed Shepherd, they made shots time and time again. But toward the end, it even got messy on both sides. They gave an opportunity. And Bron had a switch with Alperen Sengun at the top of the key. He attacked him, felt like he got tripped, didn't get this foul, tried to turn it over, and that possession didn't get back. Sengun got a layup. Somehow Marcus Smart fought, made gutsy plays, offensive rebounds, but got a steal, 2 get 3 free throws, keep them in the game. Bron redeems himself, hits another 3, they tie it up.
Behind the steal from behind.
Still a poke from behind, throw ahead pass is still kind of messy. Pump fake, reload 3. Ties the game up. Same possession happens in end of overtime. Bron gets a switch on Sengun, drives to the basket. This time, thought he might have got fouled, didn't get the call, but he runs back on defense, makes winning plays, gets rebounds, throws it in, dives on the floor, deflects it, steals it from Sengun, gets on the floor, tries to get a jump ball. They won 2 jump balls, but this was like a gutsy one. It went back and forth. Some of it kind of messy, but this was basketball. It's playoff basketball, and it's what we love to watch and what we love to see. And
if you didn't see the game, Danny just gave you the great cliff notes right there. It absolutely broke it down. And with that, the Lakers lead the Rockets 3-0. Here's Marcus Smart, the hero of the game, with Mike Trudell.
All right, Marcus, man, what an incredible comeback. Let's start in the fact where you forced the OT, down 6 with about 29 seconds left. You almost never see something like that happen in the NBA. The first thing you did was get your hands on the ball somehow, get the steal. Can you take me through that before you get to the free throw line?
Yeah, they were trying to get the ball to some man, and Jabari kind of picked his dribble up and was in a no-man zone. And, he threw a lofty pass that allowed me to get time to get back. I got it. And, I just wanted to make a play. I knew that they were going to, try to press up us on the 3, probably a little bit too overzealous with it, and I got the foul, made 3, and then Bron came down, did his thing, sent it to overtime for us.
Lakers fans are getting to know you this year, but that's just part of your DNA. You don't think about the score and never giving up?
Never giving up, because you never know. There's always more time in the game than you can realize, and you always got a chance.
So then LeBron James ends up picking the pocket, Reed Shepherd. He gets the ball. You see that go in the air. What are you thinking?
Oh, it's a bucket. I already knew. I had my hands up. You can see my hands already up. And he did what he does best, man. He makes big-time plays. That's why he's one of the greatest, if not the greatest, to do this.
Then you do a lot more in the overtime. You're back to the free throw line. You're getting over 20 points. You have 5 steals for a second straight playoff game. What was the key in that OT to prevail?
Just stay composed and go out there and, bring the fight. Throw the first punch. First 2 minutes of the game was going to determine it, and we came out hot.
I know you've talked about how, you weren't sure what was going to happen after last season. How about where you are right now? All that you've been through, to be on the floor, to be making key plays, how much you appreciate that?
Very grateful. I'm blessed. beyond measures. I thank God every day because at any given moment, this could have been over for me, right? And it could be over for any one of us. So being able to get back out here with the team, with a group of guys who's really, appreciated me, brought me in, and, showed me love. So it feels real good, and I'm very appreciative.
Last one for you. Of course, this isn't over yet. It's 3 games. You got to win 1 more. What's the key?
Keep with it. We can't beat the team. They're their home. They just lost a nail biter, and we know they're going to come out punching and ready to claw and scratch, and we got to be the ones to do it first.
Go get some rest. Thanks, man.
Marcus Smart getting a hug from LeBron James, Magic Johnson, and now Marcus Smart. You see games 3 and 4 in the 1980 West semis, back-to-back games with 5 steals. Marcus did it round 1, 2026, games 2 and 3. You've heard him after game 2, and you heard him right there with Mike Trudell. Didn't know if he would be back after his unbelievable run with Boston. Spent 2 years in Memphis, injured, missed 2 years basically. But the Lakers did the analytics, they did the work on him, and they knew that he could still be a winning player and return to what he once was in this league. And he has shown that. The toughness, the clutch ability. 8 points in overtime. He had 21 total on just 10 field goal attempts, 9 of 11 from the free throw line, 2 of 4 from 3, and he also had 10 assists and 4 rebounds. Incredible, James.
I love players who know how to find multiple ways to play the game. If you're not shooting well, I'm going to lock you up. If I'm going to get to the free throw line, I'm going to make some assists. I'm going to dive on the floor. He has so many ways that he affects the game that you just can't close him down on 1 or 2 things. He's a chef, Gator. He's a chef.
He's cooking.
You open the refrigerator and there's nothing in there. He can cook you a nice meal out of whatever you have in your refrigerator, man. He just gets it done. I love Marcus Smart. He's great.
By the way, amazing analogy. Danny.
Chef, man.
With 30 seconds left in this game, the Lakers are down 6 points. They have the win probability on all those apps. 3% chance to win. Game was basically over. The Lakers were going back on defense and almost a surrender moment. Nobody told Marcus Smart. He gets the steal, draws the foul, hits 3 free throws that makes that play possible for the Lakers to tie the game on the LeBron 3.
Yeah, again, like what Big Game was saying, just his impact. He can impact in so many different ways, and he doesn't give up. And I think that his fearlessness and his unawareness, some people might say, like he just is a wild card, but that is to an advantage for him. Like him having that kind of that mindset of F it, I'm not giving up, I'm not giving in, and I'm gonna make plays. He's not scared to try things. He's not scared to do things. So these possessions are what makes him great. And said a lot of these were in the stat sheet, but some of the things that don't show up in the stat sheet. Him finding guys, getting guys in the right position, offensive rebounds, free throws, obviously the 5 steals that you've seen, but 10 assists, he's a floor general. Nobody expected them to be able to have that with Luka and Austin going out. You're missing 2 really good ball handlers, and then you have Luke Kennard step up, and you have Marcus Smart step up. He had 10 assists tonight. He's finding Jackson Hayes. He's finding DeAndre Ayton. He's doing so many different things when it comes to leadership and impact, like Big Game said. And it doesn't have to be an offensive end of the floor. It could be defense and deflections and just setting guys up.
I want to talk LeBron before we go to JJ, because no 41-year-old in the history of basketball has played 45 minutes in a game until tonight. He 45. Had 29 points on 10 of 22. He was 4 of 9 from 3. He had 13 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 steals. And one of the biggest shots of the year, the double pump 3 in front of the Rockets bench to tie the game. Running out of ways to describe what LeBron James means to teams and what he's able to do on the basketball court, even in year 23.
And I've run out of words to describe it, so I'm going to hand it to Danny.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about it. It's just an amazing player.
Throw the rock.
I don't have as many
your teammate,
vocabs that he has, skills in his tool shed, because some people have toolbox. He has a tool shed. So many of them, but he's just incredible. Athlete, unbelievable, astounding, astonishing. You think of all of the synonyms that you can think of that describes greatness. He's got it. Time and time again, and people talk about how he's not clutch. He's always showing in those moments, giving his team a chance to stay in the game, win games, because he's so clutch and because of how high IQ he has. And then when you add that with other guys that can help lift you up, like a Marcus Smart with an offensive rebound, or a Luke Kennard who's high IQ as well, can set the table a little bit, knock down a shot. it opens up the floor so much for those guys and for him to be at his best and show LeBron James like, the 2010 LeBron James, his younger self, and he kind of turned back the clock a little bit. But yeah, there's so many words to describe his greatness that I can't even think of them. There's not enough, really.
I'm curious what Father Time is talking about in his corner between rounds, because he has never been
Father
hit
Time's getting his ass
like
kicked
this.
right now.
He's absolutely getting his ass kicked. And James, this is not 2019, 2020 LeBron, who was 34 and 35 years old playing with Danny, when the Lakers were by far and away the best team in the league, and he and AD and Danny were running people out of the gym and winning a title. This is LeBron at 41, minus Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves, and him leading this Laker team to a 3-0 lead over a Houston team that won 53 games.
Yeah, I've said it a couple times on this show. The Brad Pitt movie. What is it?
Benjamin Button. Benjamin Button.
Benjamin King Button, man. Yeah, I mean, Geeter, when you have that much knowledge and you keep yourself in pretty good shape, you have an edge because you have the experience, you have the knowledge, you're not going to panic. I think fatigue gets LeBron sometimes when he makes those little lazy passes, because he makes a few of them. I guess he's expecting the players to come back to the ball, but he's just phenomenal, man, and he wants to win. He wants to win.
Phenomenal is the word, but again, I think because he has such a mental edge over everybody else, he finds a way to push his body to do those things, push himself through the limits to make those extra winning plays.
Time to hear from Coach J.J. Redick, brought to you by your Toyota dealers.
Both those guys made big-time plays, and before the game, at halftime, we've talked for the last 10-plus days just about elevating everything, and this is our first road playoff game, and you have to elevate your poise, you have to elevate your composure, recognizing that there's going to be moments where the crowd's going crazy or you get down, they make a run, whatever it may be. We weathered a lot tonight. We weathered a lot of turnovers. I thought our defense was fantastic. And then in that moment, just to have the poise to just keep playing. And Smart made a huge play to get us into a one-possession game. And then coming out of that timeout, for them, we wanted to get a trap, and Rui and Bron did a good job of just putting pressure on Shepherd, and obviously we make the steal, and Bron hits a big-time shot.
And what was it like, just the swings, the emotional swings? What was kind of your focus on the sideline? And what
Next play. I mean, look, there's a lot of things that happened tonight that were not perfect, including some stuff I did. There was one timeout that I wish I could have back, where they had the ball and it was a need play, and wish I had made a different substitution. But you just got to get on to the next play, and that's to me, is that a hallmark of poise. That's a hallmark of composure. We certainly had a lot of discussions, both on the court and in timeouts, about correcting some things. We probably made more mistakes tonight, and as a group, and not just the players. I mean, myself included. Probably made more mistakes tonight. It's tough to win on the road in the playoffs. And again, even without KD, they're a great basketball team, and that was a huge test for us, especially in that moment when we're down 6.
I'm sure there's plenty of the things that Marcus Smart does that are in the context of what you guys ask him to do as a coaching staff, but the stuff he does, like that, shooting the gap to get the steal with 30 seconds left, rebounds, lead it to 2 free throws to go up 4 in overtime. I imagine that's just him, right? And what's it like having a player that has that extra something to his game?
Right. I mean, he's a winner. He makes winning plays. Obviously, the steal was huge. The 2 plays in overtime that really got us the lead and kind of kept us in control of the overtime were on offensive rebounds. And that was, Smart got one where he gets fouled, chucking the ball to half court. He ends up getting a layup on that play. So as much as we have emphasized their offensive rebounding, we also want to crash. We also want to get extra possessions, and those 2 guys made 2 of the biggest plays of the night.
Just about this before, haven't missed the playoffs since, 2023? Now that you're back in it, what does this feel like? How much are you looking forward to this?
Oh, every day. You know, this is, you know, when you were sitting at home on your couch as a kid growing up, you watching the playoffs, this is what you dream of being involved in, one of those games, right? And then to not be in the playoffs, you know, the last 2 to 3 years for me, it just sucked. You know, I got to watch some good basketball, and it's just like, damn, I'm a competitor. I want to be out there playing too. So to be back out there, it's a great feeling.
Marcus, you guys are down 6 with 27 seconds to go in regulation. You're able to get a steal and then quickly turn it into a free throw opportunity. What'd you see, and how were you able to make that play happen?
Just make a play. My instincts, right? You know, we knew that, you know, they were going to try to, you know, ice the game, right? And we needed to make a play. And just using my instincts, you know, Jabari Smith, I think it was him who made the pass, and I just kind of stunned it to see what he does. He picked his dribble up, and now he's in no man's land, and he threw a loft pass for me to recover, and I got it. And as I looked up the clock, I seen, you know, Tate running really fast, and I'm like, okay, is he probably not going to be able to stop in time? So I just pulled up right away, and he ran right under me. Exactly what happened. So it was a smart play. You know, that's part of my being a vet and my vet savvy. Been in the league for 12 years. I picked up some tricks from some guys, right? So that helped us a lot.
Marcus, Jackson just said in the other room, you know, it feels like you guys are playing every game as if it's your last game right now. What does that kind of mentality mean to you, to hear that from, you know, a younger teammate like that, and kind of you guys build back a way to win this game when it seemed fairly unlikely under a minute to go?
Love it. I mean, I've been talking to the guys, you know, since I got here. You know, you got to leave it all on the court, you know, because you never know. And, you know, that's been my motto since I got in this league. Just play and leave it all on the court, because you never know. It could be taken away at any given moment, right? And with 2 of our best players down, we got to play desperate. We got to be the most desperate team, and that's how we've been playing. And that's how we win it, right? The chemistry is being built because of that, and you're starting to see guys' confidence go up because of that.
Marcus, obviously, the Rockets are going to come out desperate in Game 4 to avoid elimination, but you guys have an opportunity to win on Sunday, advance to the second round. Do you even allow yourself to think about what advancing in 4 would do for you guys,
Nope.
whether it's Luka and Austin? So I guess what was the message from JJ in that regard for Sunday in the locker room?
Got one more. It's not over. We got one more, and we're in their home, and nobody wants to get embarrassed in their home, and we got them in a nail biter tonight, so it's one more. You know, we can't worry about what happens after that, because we got to take care of that. So we'll worry about that after the game. Right now, Sunday is the only thing on our mind.
Kind of the composure and just with Marcus and with LeBron and everybody who's on the court in that final minute when you're down 6, but right when Marcus gets that steal, what does that say about the journey you guys have been on this year?
I think our mentality was, you know, never give up. We knew he was down 6. I think we haven't gotten a situation like that, especially in this series. So we were a little bit down, you know, feel a little in the timeout. We're like, oh, you know, we got to do something about it. And I think Marcus made a big play, the steal, and the foul on 3, you know. I mean, all three free throws, right? And LeBron made a big time threes, you know. It was just crazy, you know. It was so quick, everything happened really, you know, fast. But yeah, I think, you know, it was a team win.
Going back to the first quarter, you had was it 14 or 16? I think 16. Yeah, 16 in that first quarter, and everything's going in perfect from the field.
The first quarter.
16. Yeah, 16 in the first quarter. What were you seeing, and kind of did you feel like your team needed a lift offensively you're able to provide?
Yeah, it was a matchup, you know. What's his name? The Shaper?
The Reed Shepherd.
Yeah, he was guarding me. So we always talk about this whole series, you know. We're gonna involve him in our offense, especially KD's out. We knew he was gonna play more, so we talk about it and exactly what we did, and they made adjustment, and yeah, they came back, but. Yeah, I think that was exactly what we walked on, and you know we practiced on, and we talk about it in the film, in the practice, so that's what we did exactly.
You said that you guys were a little bit down late, just like the mood.
Yeah.
How did you guys not let that overtake you, and were able to kind of like still end up coming back and winning that?
I think it was a mentality, you know. We never give up, you know. And especially, you know, the playoff, we always got to fight through, you know. If it was a regular season, I'm not going to lie, we might probably just let it go, you know. But it was a regular season, we knew something going to happen always, you know, and we literally fought through. So, yeah, I think that's what you got that result.
LeBron, less than 30 seconds left, down 6. 99.9% of NBA games are over at that point. What can you take us through? Kind of, is it the poise, the experience, the first with Marcus and the steal and the 3, and then you with the steal? Can you kind of just take us through those sequences?
Yeah, I mean, the game's never over till zeros on the clock, obviously, and Marcus was able to get that steal. Jay-Sean fouled him for the 3, made all 3. They called timeout, and we went in with a game plan to, not foul right away, try to make a play on the ball, see if we can create a turnover, extend the game a little bit, and I was able to get a back tap on Reed. We kicked it up, fumbled the ball a little bit. I tried to hit Luke for a 3, but I kind of fumbled a little bit, and they rotated to him. He threw it back to me, and I was able to tie it. So, and then, they came in with a game plan to get a ball to Sangoon to win it. And Jax did a great job of high hands on that possession. I was able to get a rebound and ultimately going into overtime. So we executed that game plan to a T to even force overtime.
And then how do you keep composure going into the overtime itself? You barely sat in the second half and just kind of continuing to will yourself to try and get a win.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we came that far, so, trying to see if I can make plays. Obviously my presence on the floor, is key for our ball club, but I thought the guys did a great job, especially in overtime. I thought Marcus was great in overtime, hit the 3, and away from their bench. I think Rui threw it over the top. He hit the 3. He got to the free throw line, made free throws, and everybody kind of, chipped in. It was just a gutty win for us.
Marcus has missed the playoffs the last 3 seasons. What do you think this means to him, and what is he showing you guys what it means to be in the playoffs again?
Well, I can't speculate what it means to him. That would be a question for Marcus. I can't tell you what it, try to decide what it means for him, but I know what it means for me and for the ball club to have him. And, his will, his competitive nature. He's battle-tested, obviously, in his career. I've went against him in multiple series, so, I know what he brings to the table. And, he continues to, just kind of be that, that even kill. There's a lot of things that happen throughout the course of a postseason game where you can be, high or low, but certain guys that's been battle-tested know how to stay even keel. So it's great to have one on your side.
Just as a guy who's done so much in the game, how have you processed this challenge from April 2nd till now to be out to your major horses, as you called them the other day, and then had to kind of rework what you're going to do on the fly with the most important games coming up?
Yeah, I mean, it's very challenging. I mean, listen, we've built our team the way we wanted to play throughout the course of a season. And obviously we had injuries throughout the course of the season, but that helped. That happens. It's a long marathon, and you hope that once you get to the sprint, which is the postseason, that you have your horses and everybody's in place and everybody has their role. Everybody know what their roles are, and we try to play it to a T. And obviously, the last week of the season, the last thing you will want or the last thing you even want to imagine or think about is 2 of your best players going down with injuries and not being ready for the postseason. So it was a shift for all of us. It's challenging for all of us. It's challenging for me. It's challenging for Marcus. It's challenging for Luke. For everybody. There's only a couple guys' roles that kind of stayed the same, and it's like, Jackson, DA, their roles stayed the same. But, Bronny stepping in and, playing, meaningful minutes, and Jake, and, it's just like everybody who's getting those minutes off the bench, everyone has to, do a little bit more, because of how much we're missing. So, like I said, it's a challenge for all of us, and, we're just trying to figure it out together on the fly.
LeBron, you sat for, I think, 1 minute and 53 seconds, if my math is right, in the second half of that game. What were the conversations like with JJ and the way he managed timeouts? You were always, it looked like if there was a second to be had sitting down, you would take it during those timeouts. And how were you able to kind of keep your legs through that process?
I think it's just preparing myself for these moments. Obviously, throughout the course of the game, we were trying to
I don't know, we're trying to find ways where I could get a break or whatever the case may be, but like the game was so close and it was like a possession game that, you know, I felt like we could, you know, really turn the game to benefit us and win the game. You know, and if that meant that I didn't get a break and I had to dig deep or deeper without getting a break in order for us to possibly win a game and go up 3-0, then so be it. That's what it is. We don't play tomorrow. So I'll have an opportunity to rest all day tomorrow, rest as much as I can, and just kind of just stay in the moment. And that's basically it.
Last two.
LeBron, Jackson said post-game, you know, feels like the team's playing every game like it's their last of the year. How have you guys kind of embodied that must-win mindset for every single time you get on the floor, especially late in this game where you guys were down 6 with like 25 seconds to go?
I mean, what else are we gonna do? We don't have the luxury of like, you know, thinking about maybe it's another game or it's a game, you know, game 6, game 7. Like our only mindset is like the next game. Like we have to be in the moment. Like we are not. I keep harping on it. Like we're missing some very important pieces to our ball club. Like very important. Just thinking of the landscape of the postseason, I don't know if there's any other team that's missing their top 2 players, top 2 scorers. I know Embiid is out, right, for Philly. I know J-Dub just hurt his hamstring again, unfortunately. Yeah, Wemby. Yeah, I think that's so like that's the last thing you would want is any of your guys, you know, going down at this point in the season. So we don't have the luxury of like being passive or being complacent. Like we don't have the luxury to do that. So our whole mindset is like we have to do everything